Well, viewers, I will show you some astonishing and mysterious things about the Tunguska explosion in Siberia. It happened on 30th June 1908 near the port command of Tunguska River in Siberia. That's why it's called the Tunguska event or explosion. The location where the explosion took place is very difficult to reach, completely uninhabited. It is frozen most of the year, covered with deep snow. The first scientist to reach the spot was Leonid Kulik. He reached there in 1927 after much difficulty. In his investigations, he found out that the Siberian forest in an area of around 2,150 square kilometers was destroyed. All the trees were leveled. Around 80 million trees were scorched and leveled. They fell down radially outward, indicating the direction of the blast. The destruction happened up to a distance of 30 to 40 kilometers from ground zero or the epicenter. Scientists believe that a comet or an asteroid exploded 5 to 10 kilometers above the epicenter at ground zero, releasing an energy of 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, which is 1,000 times greater than the Hiroshima nuclear bomb explosion and bigger than most of the powerful volcanic eruptions in the history of Earth. Now this is where it gets interesting and remained a mystery till now. Even though there is enough evidence to see that there was a huge explosion, the light of which was seen all over the world. The seismic waves were felt all over the world. No evidence of an asteroid or a comet were found on the ground. No fragments or pieces of an asteroid were discovered. No crater was formed on the ground. So what actually exploded? Please don't skip the video without seeing the satellite imagery I recorded in Google Earth. As we go further into the video, I will show you the excellent, amazing geoglyphs which are seen in Siberia. When I examined the satellite imagery of the Tunguska region using Google Earth, there is nothing of interest up to a distance of 30 to 40 kilometers from ground zero at the epicenter. Everything looks normal and natural. But once we cross the boundary of 30 kilometers, mysterious archaeological structures begin to appear in the satellite imagery. When I say archaeological structures, you may imagine huge megalithic constructions or buildings or stone constructions, etc. No, these archaeological structures are different. They are in the form of long furrows or grooves on the ground visible in the satellite imagery. They are perfectly straight like lasers, miles and miles long. Some of them are more than 600 kilometers long. They are oriented in all directions and change directions regularly. There is no pattern or design. They regularly intersect each other, forming various geometric shapes like crosses, triangles, squares, rectangles, and other irregular geometric shapes. Some of these geometric shapes have an area of 30 to 40 square kilometers, which are huge. They are found mostly between the rivers and lakes. They pass through rivers. When they encounter a river on their path, they stop on the proximal bank and continue on the other bank, perfectly aligned, like a straight line. But when they encounter a lake, they make a round detour or a bypass around the lake. That is the specialty of these geoglyphs or grooves or structures, whatever we call them. I prefer to call them geoglyphs. Some of these geoglyphs have loop-like structures over them and square-like objects attached to them. They look like an electrical circuit to me. Maybe something is being done with these grooves using river and lake waters. So I believe that whatever or whoever caused the explosion has very high technology in their position. They choose the location of the explosion very carefully. They choose a very remote, inaccessible and completely uninhabited area so as not to cause damage to humans. This is evidenced by the fact that the nearest village is Vanavara, which is about 65 kilometers away from ground zero, so they are outside the zone of devastation. The people there felt the blast, they were thrown off the ground, but were safe. Whoever or whatever caused the explosion controlled the trajectory of the object which entered the atmosphere of Earth. They controlled the intensity and the height at which it exploded very carefully so that the zone of devastation is limited to 30 to 40 kilometers from ground zero, so as not to hurt humans. So after considering the evidence and the lack of evidence, I think there is an advanced super intelligence or aliens or extraterrestrials in Siberia. They intentionally planned and executed the Tunguska explosion for some purpose. Maybe they are still there in Siberia, or maybe they are visiting Siberia regularly for some purpose. So why did they cause the explosion? Nobody knows. Maybe they want to hide something which was already existing there at ground zero. It should not be seen by humans because they foresaw that humans will invent air travel and space photography and discovered that there is something here in Siberia which the extraterrestrials or aliens didn't want us humans to see. That is why nothing is there within the 30-kilometer periphery or zone of destruction, but there are countless structures or formations all over Siberia outside the zone of destruction. Just 30 kilometers from ground zero, there are huge structures in the form of perfectly straight laser-like grooves or furrows in the ground. Maybe these grooves or furrows are extracting energy from Earth or carrying electrical energy, or maybe they are pumping something into the ground. That's why there is so much oil inside you. So, after watching this, please leave a comment of what your opinion is about this topic.
Well, viewers, now we are above ground zero in Tunguska, or the epicenter of the Tunguska explosion. As I said earlier, up to a distance of 30 to 40 kilometers from ground zero, there is nothing of interest. Everything is normal and natural, but once we cross the 30-kilometer periphery, we start seeing mysterious structures. Here we are seeing two intersecting lines. They are perfectly straight like lasers. It is about 30 kilometers from ground zero. Next, we'll go to another location. I call this the Tunguska cross. See, you can see the cross clearly. Perfectly straight geoglyphs crossing to form a cross. Next, we'll go a bit north. We'll follow the line a bit north. Hence, it's lost in the vegetation. It might be there, but it's lost in the vegetation. Next, we'll go to this location. There it is, forming a sort of X shape, a triangle. Several lines are meeting here. Next, we'll go to another location. Here you see this red outline. I put the outline all around a huge square, which is about 40 square kilometers in area. I will zoom in to show you the actual geoglyph or the groove or the furrow on the ground. There, now I am zooming in. There, now the glyphs come into view. Just alongside the actual geoglyph, I put the red border. There it is. Above it, there is another square. It is also very big. It has an area of about 34 square kilometers. These are not the only two squares in this area. There are hundreds, perhaps thousands undiscovered. These are the nearest ones to the Tunguska epicenter or the ground zero. You can see the actual geoglyph inside the red border. There it is. And there is a sort of triangle also here. Next, we'll go further east. At many places, all along these grooves or geoglyphs, we find a loop-like structures on the grooves. Don't know what their purpose is. Maybe they are voltage regulators. You can see again here the lines or glyphs are falling across. There you can see a square-shaped object attached to the line. Don't know what is their purpose. Maybe all this is an electrical circuit. Here we can see a triangle. There it is. Now it's coming into view. You can see the triangle. Just follow the mouse cursor. There are countless structures all around Tunguska. Somebody intentionally caused the Tunguska explosion to destroy what was already existing there. Or maybe they wanted to keep this area clear of trees for some purpose. Here this line is ending on the edge of a river and forming a sort of a cross also. Most of these lines are between rivers. They connect two rivers. Maybe they're creating a voltage between two rivers and extracting energy or adding energy into the ground. Here, this is about 27 kilometers. This is a huge triangle. It's the base of the triangle. So this is one corner of the triangle. The area of the triangle is about 2.6 square kilometers. Here one of the grooves running on the Tunguska river. You can follow these lines, they go, some of them are hundreds and hundreds of kilometers long. I measured a line near another river which is more than 600 kilometers long and forming geometric shapes all along its bound. Now we are south of the Tunguska ground zero or epicenter. Here the lines are forming across. There it is. Okay, now you can see the cross clearly. There is another faint line alongside it. Next, we'll go and see another location. There is a huge triangle here. Let the imagery load, be patient. There it is, the triangle. Sometimes the imagery is not clear due to lack of image resolution, but I hope you can see it on the screen clearly. Loads a bit slow and loading. Here the groove or geoglyph is bypassing an obstruction, a sort of obstruction. This bypassing detours are found whenever they meet an obstruction or a lake. But when they encounter a river, the lines just continue on the other side, perfectly aligned to the near side. This line is ending on the bank of the Tunguska River. Wait, it will come into view. There it is, there it is. It's a bit faint, but I hope you can see it. How can anyone construct all these hundreds and hundreds of kilometers long, perfectly straight grooves, furrows, or water channels? This is the village of Vanavara. This is the nearest human habitation to ground zero, and it is about 65 kilometers from ground zero. Now let's go 37 kilometers east of ground zero from Tunguska, where I found mysterious archaeological structures on the ground in the satellite imagery of Google Earth. Here we can see a clear line. It has an ECG-like appearance. I cannot zoom in further as the image resolution is not available here. The imagery was not yet processed. So we may have to shift to NASA's Earth Explorer for better, clearer picture. Now we are in NASA's Earth Explorer. You can see the loop over the line. And there is another small loop there. It's lost somewhere here in the vegetation. We'll switch back to Google Earth again. Now we shall see another location which is 30 kilometers from ground zero in Tunguska. Here also there is no proper imageable resolution. Here you can see a sort of cross. On the top left line, you can see a loop formed over the line. The line is not straight as the ground has shifted and made the line crooked and bent. Another location. This is 38 kilometers from ground zero. Okay, the image is loading a bit slowly. You can see a clear line. There is a small loop there on the line. What is the purpose? I don't know. This line is very, very long, maybe 20-30 kilometers or more maybe. Annoying, but it is faint. You have to zoom in to clearly see the line. It's crossing a river there. For some reason, the imagery here is still not processed. It is crossing another stream here. You can see the line there. Yes. cross the stream here. Here the imagery is not clear. Now we shall go to another location. About 140 square kilometers from ground zero in Tunguska, there is a perfect grid. You can see rows and rows of lines forming rectangles and squares. You can also see regular diagonally going lines. This grid has an area of about 100 to 150 square kilometers. Don't know what is the purpose of this. Some of the imagery has no resolution. I'll switch to NASA's Earth Explorer. You can see it more clearly there, but the imagery is not of great quality. I will again switch back to Google Earth. The imagery is of better quality. There are ridges of furrows. You can see the clear grid.